end of the day, and the judges will be introducing those pieces as well, and we'll have a commentary. There are microphones here, so I'm going to make sure that we get all those ready. What we do ask is that while we're VR, okay, that's the first thing that's coming up here. InVision VR's mission is to eliminate doubt associated with pre-construction and commercial and residential properties, okay? So this generates further customer, and I have a microphone here for somebody as well right after, okay? This generates further customer satisfaction and greater revenue for real estate developers. By rendering architectural plans into immersive virtual reality worlds, InVision VR gives the potential homebuyer freedom to interact with the ownership of these properties while simultaneously providing valuable metrics to sales and marketing. On the team we have Han Bai, Serene Chen, Matthew De Silva, Kamal Diora, and Eileen Lee. Ladies and gentlemen, Team InVision VR.
Are you guys okay with the technical stuff?
They're not.
Okay.
Look at the screen function.
Does anybody? I'm a math user. Accelerated on oops, sorry. Yeah. Dre, just need to mirror it, right? Come up. You can help them. There you go.
Hello, everybody. Now, let me tell you all a little story. Imagine, with a snap of my fingers, you've all become a room of real estate developers. Now, before construction can even begin on your first project, you need to ensure that you have the necessary capital to fund it. This is where pre-sales come in. Realize how challenging your task is to convince potential investors to invest in a building that doesn't even yet exist. With only prints, brochures, and architectural scale models, you need to convince these people to put a deposit on your house. What you need is a tool that can truly immerse these investors. What if I told you a tool like this existed? What if you could walk into a building? What if you could step onto the balcony and experience the view outside? What if you could do all of this before the building was even built? Imagine how much more effective and efficient this would make your marketing. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing InVision VR. My name is Eileen. Behind me, we have Matthew, Serene, Han, and Kamal. InVision VR takes your construction plans and transforms them into immersive virtual reality worlds so that your potential investor can truly experience the building before it's even built. Now, I'd like to pass it on to Han to explain the value of virtual reality and InVision VR's position in the market.
Thank you, Eileen. This is a generic modern showroom where you can see the conventional sales tools used. The showroom is the developer's most powerful tool. where they will spend a fortune on outdated and inefficient projectors, posters, and architectural scale models, which lack the level of immersion of stepping inside a real home. Through extensive market research and through speaking with knowledgeable real estate marketers, we have discovered the need for a marketing tool which can effectively immerse homebuyers, attract investors, and above all, drive sales and revenue. Now you might be wondering, what is virtual reality and why did we choose it for our service? Virtual reality consists of 3D renderings that are experienced through a headset such as Oculus Rift, which creates an almost limitless level of immersion, allowing homebuyers to effectively walk through a home and see every nuance of every room before the building even exists. We will achieve this by transforming developers' plans into virtual reality worlds. The real advantage that these worlds provide is the ability to see the unique floor layouts that a building offers, not just a single generic show suite like most showrooms have nowadays. Most importantly, you'll be able to see the individual unit that is perfect for you, the homebuyer, which is what sets us apart from current sales techniques. Now I would like to pass it off to Matthew to discuss the unique feature set that will differentiate our service from the rest.
Thank you, Han. InVision VR can customize every project to the needs of the developer. The following features come standard in order to enhance the level of depth of our simulation. Our first feature is your specs. Now with the push of a button, the home buyer can see the exact measurements of each room right on the wall. Now you may think this is a simple feature, but in the case of my esteemed colleague here, Eileen Lee, her father has 5 fish tanks. And he's really attached to these fish tanks. So when he was shopping for a new home, he would go with a spec sheet and a ruler in his hand and measure out each dimension of each room to ensure his prized fish tanks would fit. Now, think of how much stress we can alleviate off the home buyer if we can ensure that all their prized possessions will fit in their new home. Our next feature is your room. Now, the problem with furniture staging in show suites is that not all home buyers have the same taste as the designer who set up the room. With your room, you can cycle through room layouts such as minimalistic, traditional, and modern. This allows the home buyer to experience the full potential of their unbuilt condo. Our next feature is your view. Now before the condo is even built, the home buyer can step to their window and see exactly what vistas they will see outside their window. They can see the sun rise and the sunset on their apartment without waiting around for 24 hours. Our final feature is your vision. Your vision allows the home buyer to take home a recording of their tour alongside information on the condo and the surrounding area. But the real value lies in the metrics collection. The metrics collection allows the salesperson to pinpoint exactly what gripes the home buyer has with the apartment and offer a solution to them and turn inhibitions into sales. I will now pass it on to Serene to talk about competition and marketing.
Thank you, Matthew. Now behind me, you can see our 2 main competitors, Arch Virtual and Studio 216. Arch Virtual does projects in areas such as job training and driving simulations, whereas Studio 216 only has 1 virtual reality project to date. The rest are apps. Now, both these companies also lack the extensive feature set, as well as the data and metrics collection that InVision VR offers. Our features are not simply features. They demonstrate our dedication towards satisfying the needs of real estate developers. We create the ultimate marketing tool to answer all questions that your potential home buyer will have. Now, InVision VR will be headquartered in the city of Vancouver. We have chosen this city for a number of key reasons. The first being that Vancouver is home to a tight-knit community of real estate developers. Ian Podmore from Concert Infrastructure informed us that if one developer with influence were to adopt our service, the rest would soon follow. Furthermore, Vancouver is a city with far reach. Real estate developers here have projects in other cities such as Toronto and Seattle. Finally, Vancouver is a very attractive city for foreign real estate investment. When you combine real estate and virtual reality in the way that InVision VR has, it creates an extremely powerful tool when you consider that these investors are not going to be able to visit the site of construction. They may not even be able to visit the sales center. However, InVision VR can bring the sales center experience to them at a fraction of the cost and space. Now, Kamal, can you please explain to me what kind of initial investment we'll need to commence operations?
Well, at the beginning of our timeline, you will see our research and development phase. This period will last 4 months, and during this time, our software developer will work on creating the platform that the design team will later use. After this, when we take on our first project, we will require an additional $46,000 to pay for the new designers we hired in month 5. We plan on completing 3 projects this year.
And in year 2, we'll be targeting expansion into the city of Toronto. Toronto was recently named the world's hottest luxury real estate market. Furthermore, as Vancouver real estate developers have projects situated in the city, it will make the transition seamless.
In year 2, we begin to hire salespeople. These salespeople will ensure that our company keeps growing by forging connections with developers in new cities and providing us with more projects. The figure next to me represents the additional costs we take on during this expansion. We plan on selling 7 units this year, 7 projects this year, and we break even in September.
And in year 3, we'll be targeting expansion into the United States. After the 2008 crash, the US real estate market has never fully recovered, which means developers in cities such as Los Angeles and San Francisco will be seeking more innovative and more sophisticated methods of pushing their sales presentation.
In year 3, we continue hiring salespeople, programmers, and artists to ensure that our company keeps growing. We plan to complete 14 projects in year 3 and 22 projects in year 4.
And in year 4, we'll also be aggressively targeting the city of New York. New York is the king of luxury real estate markets. Here we'll not only have access to developments within the city, but also all around the world. To summarize, the first 4 months of our operations will be spent in research and development, after which we'll commence sales in Vancouver. Our break-even point arrives in the middle of year 2, and we'll be in New York by year 4. Now I'll be passing it back to Kamal to explain our pricing strategy.
Thank you, Sarita. InVision VR reviews each project on a case-by-case basis. As an example, we have Evolved Condos. Westone Group, the company that developed these condos, recently sold 300 units for $70 million. We will be charging Westone Group $320,820 for our services. Typical real estate companies usually allocate 5% of the total revenue to marketing and sales. Our price is only 10% of their marketing and sales budget and only 0.5% of the total revenue. This shows that our service is both affordable and viable. Next, we have our profit projections. As you can see, whenever there's an increase in our profits, it is accompanied with our expansion. This makes sense because when we expand, we gain the opportunity to take on more projects. This ensures that our profits keep growing. Now I'll hand it off to Eileen.
Thank you, Kamal. No longer will you need to rely on brochures, prints, or architectural models to sell your message. Now when a potential home buyer walks into your showroom, all you need to do is sit them down, hand them a headset and say, "This is your dream home. Step inside." Thank you.
We're gonna have a Q&A a little bit from the judges, so I'm gonna pass the mic around, and then I'm gonna take 2 microphones. I'll put one on one end here and one end here, and then you guys can start.
One here, and then pass it to How long are we giving for these? 10 minutes. 10 minutes for Q&A. Go ahead, yeah.
Excellent presentation. That was really, really well done. Thank you. Have you looked at competition setting in, and how do you stay ahead of the competition, like things like patents as well? Have you looked at that?
Thank you for your question. So we understand that competitors are a concern as virtual reality becomes more and more adopted. Now, InVision VR has a first mover advantage because although we're not the first virtual reality company, we were the first to combine virtual reality and real estate focus in such an in-depth way. We have created the ultimate marketing tool to not only tell your potential home buyers, but also show them. So instead of trying to describe what the view might look like from the next floor, now it can be like, put on the headset and I'll show you. These features are something that other companies are not going to be able to catch on to as quickly. Furthermore, our data and metrics collection is an extremely valuable tool for us because over the years, as we collect more projects, we'll be able to collect more data and we'll understand better how to improve our service which is an advantage that our competitors are not going to have. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, fantastic presentation. Great job, everyone. So where are you going to find your developers? You know, Vancouver is probably one of the hottest markets next to Silicon Valley for developers, and it's one of the most expensive places. So are you looking to outsource this overseas or write all the code in Vancouver? Like, tell us a little bit about that.
For the programming, we will be hiring a local developer. He will be on our payroll, so we're not outsourcing it.
What about in the future, like, as you start to scale? As you start to scale, then where are you going to find the developers to build that out?
As we scale, since this is an entirely virtual concept, when we distribute the hardware, we will be getting a subcontractor for that. But for all the programming and all the artists for rendering, it'll all be done in Vancouver and then sent.
First off, fantastic presentation.
Thank you so much.
And I really do love this product, but I have a question for you about your specs. So you said, very exciting, if you have 5 special fish tanks, you can make sure it goes in. But how is that an advantage over a blueprint? Because if you know how big the fish tanks are, then why does seeing them in virtual reality matter more than just being able to say, my wall is 12 meters long and I have fish tanks?
That's a very good question. It's mostly about the immersion factor. We spoke to someone named Jesse Judry. He works at a company called VR Chat, and they're actually exploring the social element of virtual reality. So it's actually extremely powerful to be immersed within the room or the home that you potentially buy. And that's going to add way more value than just having a blueprint and going, okay, maybe they're going to fit here. Now you're in the room. You see the floors, you see the walls, you see what the layout looks like, and then you've got the measurements. So it kind of brings everything together in an integrated and immersive package.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
I've got one more question. So I'm not a ground floor kind of guy. I like penthouses. So when you're going to show me the view, like, how are you actually going to film that so I can actually see what I'm going to be seeing?
Well, traditional methods use trains, but now with the advanced technology of drones, we can get a drone operator to fly up with a camera and take a shot every hour, and we would do a time lapse over 24 hours. Is that clear?
Yeah, also a fabulous presentation about the energy. Thank you. In terms of the technology side of it, how much of this technology is yet to be developed or has been developed by others and it's off the shelf? How quick can you actually?
Well, currently the limiting factor is Oculus Rift. They are currently on their development kit 2, but they're slated for a full release to the public in the next couple of months. Other than that, all the technology is there and in other applications, yes, but nothing in the real market there.
Okay, one more comment. The fact that you managed to get drones and Oculus Rift into your presentation, every techie in here loves you. So, quick question about your metrics. I completely agree with you that information seems to be the new currency, but can you give us an example of how the kind of information that you're going to get is actually going to be useful? Like, what will be the information and how will it be used?
Great, thank you for that question. So, as you can see, do we have it up here? Yeah, the heat map. So, we're using the Oculus Rift to track the eye movement of the viewer. So that way we can see where the potential home buyer is focusing their attention. This is great on a personal sales level because now when they're doing the follow-up, the sales representative can really emphasize these points that their clients have been focusing on. And this can not only reduce inhibitions, as Matthew mentioned in the presentation, but also to drive sales. And I'll let Matthew add on to that.
On top of that, we can aggregate all the data into a larger heat map with more sample sizes for the developer, and he can see, or he or she can see where the improvements need to be made for their future developments.
I wanted to point out two specific things I liked, because everyone has said how fabulous it is, but since this is what I do for a living, I really enjoyed the back and forth between the two of you. Come on, and I love the personal story about fish tanks.
for a second your lines and you can keep a smile on your face and you can keep your composure, that's maybe even a better mark of a good entrepreneur than a presentation that goes smoothly. So well done.